Hello there. So today we're going to start off in the 90-90 position. If you've worked with me in person before, you'll know this flow. If you haven't done it before, no stress. We're just going to go through it and you'll definitely see it again at some other point. So we're going to sit in the 90-90 position. So if you look at this, one leg is out in front of you in a right angle. The ankle and the knee, so your shin, are in one line, and the knee and the hip are in one line. This is usually the easier one. And then we do the same with the back leg. So the back leg should look like a 90-degree. If you're one of those people where when you try and do this, either one side of the butt is lifted or maybe a knee is lifted, or you're like, I just can't sit that way, the more you do it, the more you'll be able to sit that way. But if you're struggling, just bring the back knee in a little bit or the front foot in a little bit and accommodate to your body. All it is some tightness within the pelvis. And that's the entire point of this exercise, is hip mobility. So we're in the 90-90. I'm going to take my hands behind me. My feet don't move. My knees are going to lift up towards the ceiling. I look like I'm in the squat position, and then I'm going to bring the legs down. And so we're just going to do a few wipers just to mobilize and open up the hips. You go as fast or as slow as you want to. And then all we're going to do from there is then we're going to try and do it with no hands. If this isn't accessible today, don't worry. I like to think chest lifted, hands out in front, and then I move open one leg, keep the knees as wide as I can, and then drop the knees. I end up in the 90. It's really normal to start shifting forwards and scooting towards the front of the mat when you do this, okay? So if you start to move away from your original position, no stress. We're just going to do one more on either side. And then obviously if that doesn't work for you, just keep the hands behind you. And then from there, I'm going to pop my left knee in front. So I'm facing you. Put your left leg in front of you. Now my right leg, I'm going to bend and I'm going to bring the right knee towards the arch of the front foot. We're going to lift up together by pushing the knees into the floor, squeezing your bum, and lots of people complain about the knees feeling really bony on the hard floor. So grab an extra mat if you need to, put some knee pads on, or just toughen up, whatever. And then we're going to come down. So I'm going to push my hips back. I'm going to sit down. I want you to do your best not to plop. We're just going to do 3 on either side. Exhale as you come up, and I want you to feel like you're squeezing the bum, and then we sit down. Okay, we're going to do the same on the opposite side. So now my right leg is going to go in front. I'll do this from the side so you can see. My right leg goes in front. My left knee is close to the arch of the front foot. Both sit bones are on the floor. We keep nice, good posture. We're going to exhale, come up, squeeze the bum, and notice that my shoulder and my hip are in one line, and I'm trying to keep my rib cage down rather than ending here, okay? So we end up nice and tall, control on the way down, and then exhale to come back up. Control on the way down. Try and keep that chest as upright as possible if you can. Last one. Beautiful. This is where it gets a little bit confusing. So my left leg is going to go in front again. We're swapping back to the other side. We're going to do that lift, and then my back leg is now going to become my front leg. So right now we're facing each other. My hips are pointing forwards. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my back leg forwards, and my hips are going to end up facing the left. I know it's going to be the left because my left leg is in front. Okay? So I bring this leg up and turn around. Now I'm in a lunge position. Okay? Let's just keep it there today. I'm not going to take us all the way up to standing. This is confusing enough for people. So now I'm going to bring my right knee back towards the arch of that front foot. Knee, and then back. And I like to give my body landmarks to choose, landmarks to focus on. 3, 2, 1, let's go back up. We're going to do this 2 more times. Exhale, lift up. Right leg swoops round to that lunge position, and then we come back. Good. So why are we doing this weird exercise? Lift up and then rotate round. It is because we're thinking about mobilizing and lubricating the hip joint. And then down. Swap sides. So now I'm going to show it to you what you should look like, but from the other side. So now my right leg is in front. You can face me. We're gonna lift up, and then the back leg, my left leg, is gonna become my front leg. So now I'm gonna face you. And so what tends to happen is most people will do that lunge and then they're all over the shop. But I'm trying to keep my ankle, my knee, and my hip all in one line in a right angle. Now I'm gonna bring the knee to the arch of that foot. Left knee, arch of the right foot. Sit down. Give each movement its time. So exhale, we come up, we rotate round. We come back, yeah. Last one, we come up and we go round. Babies actually learn how to sit and crawl. So from this position. So if you ever see them in the 90-90 position, don't change them, okay? It's a functional progression of movement. If you see your baby, I can't even do it, sitting like this, that's when I want you to change them, which is different from this, okay? Cool beans. Now let's work out. Start off with some knee hover progressions. You ready? Let's go, girls. So we're going to start off in shoulder over the wrist, knee underneath the hip. Inhale, relax your belly, and then exhale, feel like you're drawing the pelvic floor in. Feel like you're drawing the pelvic floor up and in from the anus, the vagina, then the urethra. Then draw the rest of the belly in. Push through the shoulders. We're gonna tuck our toes and just test a knee hover. We're gonna hover, and when you're here, I want you to have a nice, calm breathing. And if you can, try not to breathe into the belly when you do this. Keep trying to lift through the pelvic floor. So every time you exhale, try and draw the belly in, lift through the pelvic floor a little bit more. Good. And then coming back down. If that knee hover was okay and you didn't need to rest, we're gonna try and go for some lateral walks with our knee hover. So I'll face you. So you should be doing it as if you're doing the length of your mat. We're gonna go from side to side. We're just gonna do 2 in each direction. So we'll start off a little bit easier. If the knee hover was too much for your core, just go back to, I'm just gonna inhale, exhale, engage, lift up, relax. Inhale, exhale, engage, lift up, relax. You choose your variation. So we're gonna be here. We're gonna inhale, relax everything. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor and core. Now we're gonna travel from side to side. So my right arm, left leg are gonna move, and then my left arm, right leg. So opposite hand to leg, and then you always wanna try and come back to that all fours position. Good, and then we're gonna come back the other way. So if you feel like when you come back, you need to pause and reset, you go for it. Good, and then rest. I'm gonna pause and reset. And so when I'm moving, what's happening is this opposite arm and this knee are moving in the same direction at the same time. So what you'll see from my view is that my hands come together, but my legs are apart, and then they all come back into that all fours position. Let's try it again. Inhale, relax the belly. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor. Draw the belly in, hold on to that, don't let it go. Breathing, off we go. So hands together, feet apart, then both hands in line with the knees. Hands together, feet apart, both hands in line with the knees. Good stuff. Good breathing. Last one. Good, and then back we go. I'm still in frame. Good. And then remember, if you need to reset, do so at any point. Lots of control, it's not about speed. Rest, good stuff. Okay, now we're popping onto our backs. We're just gonna warm up the glutes. So first, just do a couple of articulations. So think about tucking through the pelvis, drawing the belly down, lifting up through the pelvic floor, and then coming up nice and tall. So when we do our glute bridges, we don't wanna have a big arch in our back. So I shouldn't look like this with my belly like a shark's mouth, open wide, We're tucking through the pelvis, hip bones up towards the rib cage, squeezing the bum, driving through the heels, knees pointing forwards. Alrighty, and then we're gonna come down. Let's just go for 10 of these, just really connecting to breath and core, exhaling, feeling that lift through the pelvic floor. Glute bridges will be in every postnatal program ever for so many reasons, mainly 2. Okay, for your glutes and your core. So I like to think of it as opposing forces. So as I squeeze my bum, my belly comes down to meet the bum. As I lift through the pelvic floor, my belly draws down at the same time. So we're using the connection between the bum, the breath, the pelvic floor, all of it. Okie dokie. Last one. Good. And the stronger the glutes, the less likely you have back pain. If that was nice and easy, you have two options. You can do a supported single leg. So you can bring one foot out in front of you, and then you're really just focusing on the leg that is closer to you, or you can just fully take that leg off. I don't care how you hold it. And then we're gonna try and drive up from the single leg. Okie dokie, ready, off, choose your variation, off we go. So single leg stability is fantastic for a lot of things. When you're doing this, I want you to think about still maintaining that nice good core, keeping the rib cage down, using the exhale to help drive you up. Exhale. And then you choose your variation. Let's do two more. If you're like, I can physically do the single leg, swap sides, or continue with the regular glute bridges. I can physically do the single leg, but I don't go that high, and I'm actually starting to feel it more in my lower back, then the integrity of the movement isn't really there. So it's better that you should do double legs. But if you're like, oh, actually, this is just a bit of a challenge, but I can do it. It's just weak, it's just tired. That's where I want you to gauge and go from there. All right, last 2 reps. Exhale. And it's normal to have one side that is stronger than the other. We're gonna try and balance them. So the next option is if you have your sofa or something nearby that you can use, this is probably a little bit too low, you can do this on your forearms. The option or the exercise is we're gonna be in this knee hover position, and then you're gonna see if you can take the opposite arm and leg up, opposite arm and leg up. If that's fine, then you're gonna try and touch the knee, touch the knee. If it doesn't feel smooth, what you can try and do is be up on your sofa like this. Practice taking one leg off, bringing it back down. Practice taking the other leg off, bringing it back down. Okay? So you choose your variation. We're going to do 2 more rounds of this. So I'll start here and then we'll go there. Ready? Off we go. So inhale, relax the belly. Exhale, tuck the ribs towards the hips. Lift up and engage. And so what we're looking for today, as you lift those legs, or you just practice your knee hovers or whatever it is that you're doing it as slowly with as much control as possible, that you're not feeling any strain in the lower back. And if you do these exercises and you are starting to feel some strain, what I want you to do is reset. So it'd be take a nice reset breath, inhale, relax, exhale, tuck through the pelvis, lifting up, making sure that you can keep that core engaged. So if you say to yourself, oh, I can only do 2 reps and then I lose it, that's your rep range. Do 2 reps, reset. Last 3, 2, and 1. Good job. Okay, so then if you're at home, what I want you to then do is you're gonna elevate your back foot onto your sofa. If you don't have anything like that, you might have a toddler stool that you can use, or you can just go for a lunge position, but we're focusing on that back leg doing the work. Ready? So you can either rest the foot or have the toes on, whatever feels better for you. Off we go. So tucking the pelvis, rib cage down. We're gonna come down as low as you can go, and then just think about driving up. Exhale as you stand up. Little bit of cardio into the life. Good stuff. And just go as low as you can go. You should feel a really big stretch through the back leg. Nice stuff. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest. That was seconds, not reps. Okay, let's swap onto the other leg. Okay, finding the balance. Tuck the pelvis. Off we go. So one of your legs might be more stable than the other. I have my left leg in front at the moment. That's my more wibbly wobbly. If you're like that, like me, feel free to also grab a chair, be near a wall, something where you feel supported. while you're rebuilding your strength back up. Good. Whoa. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. Okie dokie. We go back to our knee hovers. Are you ready? Off we go. So we're just going to do 4 laps. Inhale, relax the belly. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor and core, lifting up, together, apart. As much control as possible. Good. And then we're going to go back the other way. Trying to keep shoulders and hips either in the same line or shoulders slightly higher than the hips. Because what we don't want to see is that the hips, off you go again, that the hips are lifting up higher than the shoulders. Good. And then back the other way. And then resting. Oh, that burns the quads. Oh. All right. Back to our glute bridges. Okay, so you can choose your option. You can be double leg or single leg. You choose you. So say, for example, 3, 2, 1, off we go. You started off with the single leg last round, but you regret that decision for meaningful reasons, not just, self-excuses. Then there is no shame in going back to the glute bridges. I'd rather you did the glute bridges perfectly without injury, without pain, or, to your mental health benefit, than to force yourself to do the single legs and then feel like it was too much, or you did something, or you felt bad, there's no room for those feelings here. Okay, swap sides. You're doing a great job. 3, 2, 1, off you go. And as I sit here filming this, saying all these things, coaching this, this is how I talk to myself when I work out. I'm like, you're doing a good job. You showed up. And you did. Okay, we're almost done. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good stuff. Okay, back to your knee hovers. Last round of knee hovers. So this is the one where you're either up here, alternating your legs, you're trying to tap the other leg. Are you ready? Inhale, relax the belly. Exhale, lift through the pelvic floor and core. And then off we go. Seeing if you can lift opposite arm and leg. See if you can touch the knee. With the utmost control. And then really using that exhale. Trying to keep the hips lower than the shoulders. Knee close to the ground. Last couple reps. You're doing a good job. And rest. Good job, good job, good job. Alrighty. Last exercise, left leg goes back up. And then we're gonna try, if you can, you now have the option to do a tippy toe. Or I'll give you the hardest option. I'm not physically there yet, but some of you watching this might be. You're gonna come down, and then you're gonna jump. Down, jump. I'm not really there yet. The other option is you're coming down, tippy toe, work on the balance. Down, tippy toe. You try whichever one is your option out. You can just continue lunging. Okay, off we go. Tippy toe, tippy toe. Whew. So this is like single leg stability stuff, or if you're returning to a sport. Let's do 2 more. Rest. Good. We're going to swap sides. Oh my Lord, that burns. Okay. Ready? Off we go. Choose your option. One of my sides is better than the other. And when I do these like Superman or the superhero fast running arms, I just feel more athletic and like I have more control. So I don't know if that helps you too. All right, let's do 2 more. Good stuff. All right, Mama. You did a good job. Bye.